night scope. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. I should do it this way. Easy to see what's going on. Thanks for coming in. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Gwen. Nice to see you here on my scope. This is a late night one for me. Usually I do my scopes earlier in the day, but I've had a very hectic day. I haven't had a chance to scope now, so I want to do a quick one. We'll see how quick it goes. Unfortunately, I'm doing this later than usual because my East Coast fans are asleep by now. They probably won't be on the scope, so I don't think I'm going to see two of my favorite people on my scope. They'll see the replay tomorrow. So, welcome to my Periscope broadcast. I do a love scope every day, love and relationships. Thanks for joining me, by the way. I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes because my notifications are delayed. They don't go out quickly. So bear with me as I wait for a couple of minutes and pad a little bit telling you what's going on. So, what can I say? This is my Monday scope, which is Man Up Monday. So subjects, topics around men and masculine things, which are for men and women to listen to and to dialogue with. That's kind of what I'm doing today. And I do a love scope every day. Sorry, Monday through Friday. Let's be clear about that. Weekends, flexible. But I want to do a scope tonight just to get one on the map because I haven't done one for a few days, not since Friday, so I feel a little bit like I missed out. And tonight's one it's been bugging me because I've been seeing it around a lot today. Actually a lot for the last few weeks. Seeing it with the political banter and the rules. I mean, I'm sort of being polite right now. And I'm not getting too far. I'm still waiting for more people to join in because usually there are more people coming in late night on my scope. We'll see what happens. This is actually later than usual. Usually do it much earlier than this. But I want to get one done today. So I've already said that. My name is Barry Selby, known as the Love Doctor. I'm a relationship coach. I'm a relationship expert. I hate the word coach. Keep using that word, damn it. Donna, I thought you were being asleep by now. I'm surprised to see you here. Thank you for coming in. I was just thinking I'd just do a quick scope and then you catch it tomorrow. With you and Evie usually being East Coast, you'd be fast asleep by now, I thought. So nice to have you on my scope. It's a bit of a slow one tonight. I'm just getting started and you're the second person to stay in the scope. So, to recap quickly, I'll just introduce myself and my name, Create Manifest. Nice to have you here. Who's this? See the face to go, name to go, the title. Tanya. Oh yes, Tanya. Nice to be back again. This may get to be a rant. We'll see. No promises. Try and adjust your inner turn clock when you head back west. Oh right. Yes. Yeah, but it's 10 p.m. here, West Coast time. So 1:10 p.m. East Coast. I'm sure if you're in Midwest, aren't you? I think, if I remember correctly, Central Time Zone. Different Evie, nice to have you here. That's right. Didn't mean to say that to you. That wasn't meant 1 a.m. Yeah. Sorry, Evie. I didn't mean to do that to you. I have a certain Evie I'm very buddy with. But you're the West Coast Evie versus the East Coast Evie I know. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining my scope. And please feel free to share this out on Twitter and Facebook and Periscope. Because it's a late night scope and this is not my usual time. Usually I'm earlier than this, but I haven't had time until now to do it. So thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing it out. And thanks for the hearts and all that stuff. For those who don't know me, my name is Barry Selby. I'm known as the Love Doctor. I am a #1 best-selling author. This is my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. You get on my site, and Donna's bringing me to putting up the sheet. Where's my crib sheet? She knows the book sheet. Yeah, you did it. I know you can do that. That's the link right there. It's going to hold a piece of paper. For those people who don't read the screen, here's the visual effects. It seems so pointless after you've done it. Thank you, Donna. It's a 50 Principles for Healthy Relationships for Singles, Couples, Men and Women. It is a #1 bestseller. It has opened the door for me to speak on telesummits and live events once in a while and more this year. I don't know. Everyone else can hear me, I think. Can everyone else hear me? Can you hear me? I'm not sure. Maybe you. I think my phone's working okay. Yes? Thank you, Donna. All right. I'm just checking. So it may be you. You may want to just quit and restart the Periscope again just in case. Because I'm using the earbuds just because I want to keep the volume down a bit. So I'm at a friend's place for a couple of days, and they've already gone to bed. They're early to rise, early to bed, early to rise. I'm a late to bed, late to rise. That's my schedule. So, topic tonight. Today. It's been a strange day in different ways anyway. But I just had thought about, okay, what would I want to talk about for Man Up Monday? And I haven't spoken about this before, at least not intentionally, not directly, not bluntly. But it's this whole thing about boys to men, or boys becoming men. there's been, okay, so I'm just going to see your name so I can actually call you by your right name. Iris, can you hear me now? Try and join again. Iris, can you hear me now? I'll make sure you can hear me as well so you can join in the conversation. Just wait to see. Anyway, I'll start talking. You let me know if you hear me okay. That would be good to know. It's frustrating. Watching some of the, well, to be honest, it's watching CNN today. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have watched CNN. I was at a coffee shop and they have CNN up on the screen. And it's one of my spiritual teachers calls it constantly negative news. And it is mostly. But they were doing excerpts from the front runners in the, Republican Party particularly. And, okay, that's all right. Well, in Western's words, you want to replay, but if you can't hear me, of course, I'm talking to you and you can't hear me, which is pointless, me trying to tell you now over here. Keep trying, yes. There, that's better sign language, I guess. I'm trying to talk to her when she can't hear my word. That's not good. What I'm aware of, Mike, nice to have you here, sir. One of the Perry dudes. And again, if you're just joining the scope, please share this out on Twitter and Periscope just to get more folks in. If there's anybody still awake this time of night, mostly West Coast people, except for Donna, who's East Coast and committed to being here. Thank you for that. There's this pet peeve of mine, and it probably is for you too. There are a lot of men out there running around, I should say a lot of boys running around in men's bodies. They're still looking for mama to save them. In fact, that was something I came in a conversation with a friend this weekend. She was attracting mama's boys, basically boys in adult bodies who want someone to take care of them versus men in men's bodies who want to take care of their partner. Very clear difference there and opposite. But it was triggered by watching these talking heads, toddlers in adult suits. Yeah, that's another way of putting it. Yeah. We could play with a whole different bunch of terms and phrases for the different ways of stating it. But the bottom line is simple: the immaturity that so many men and women, men particularly, some women do it too, but it's more men. And this is Man Up Monday, so I'll stick to the men's side of the conversation. I may do it Wednesday as the opposite view. We'll see if I have time. But men, so many men I see, not just when I was at the coffee shop today, not just what was on TV with CNN, with the talking heads from the political background who were looking like me, and screw you, and all this throwing stuff. It wasn't masculine, it was very boyish, very, very vindictive and immature. But I saw it with some of the men in the coffee shop today, watching the women. I go to a little internet cafe that's down by the beach in Venice, well, it's by the pier in Venice. And even today, it was kind of hazy. There were a lot of attractive people going by because they're people on vacation, because they come to LA on vacation in February because it's nicer weather here than most other places. And there were some very good-looking women going by. And I had a particular angle to watch the men watching the girls. And some of these were older men and younger girls and different ranges of stuff. But there was this sneaky boy, like looking around the corner, looking around the school, like the back of the schoolyard, catching the glimpse of the girls or in the girls' showers. This sort of this voyeurism energy that is very boy-like. And I'm realizing it stirs up me because I've got that inside of me too. I'm not going to pretend it's not. But there's this wish, prayer, yearning, reminder that we need to grow up as men to honor women. Yes, ladies, you're attractive to us, and we notice how you look because that's what is stirring our attraction to you. And I talked about this in another scope about how men and women are attracted differently. So men are attracted very visually by the light you shine, not necessarily about what you are dressed like, although it's part of the package. But it's not just about certain figure, form, shape, design. It's about the way you carry yourself, present yourself, and share yourself with your makeup, jewelry, hair, clothing, movement. All these things are additive to who you are presenting yourself as. And it's almost like, I don't think we've given ourselves permission as men to tell you genuinely that we think you're attractive. We have to be somewhat reticent and hold back and be sneaky about it, which is what doesn't help. I'm just wandering around with this topic, so if you have questions or comments or thoughts, please feel free to type them in. I mean, I want to make sure that this is making sense and has value for you, because that's my passion for my scopes, is they have value for those watching. But I guess what it's coming back to is more and more that I'm feeling that there needs to be a change. I don't have an answer for this necessarily, but this passion, this passion to be, to have people be authentic. That's what it is. That's what it is. So what was it trying to get up? Is this desire for people to be authentic? That simple. There's a need, a requirement, you love when a guy is matter of fact with confidence in how he feels about me. Thank you, Evie. It's nice to know that, because that's something that it's not always easy to hear women tell us, because that's the other part, is that men don't ask women if it's okay. That if I say something, I'm going to take offense at it, because we've had bad experiences in the past. All right, I've had bad experiences in the past. Let me be very brutally honest about that. And I've overcome it to a large degree, and I'm much more comfortable talking to attractive women or women of all sorts, because I've done a lot of work around this area. At the same time, I still feel a bit nervous about stepping into, well, that's the thing, yes, a compliment with no other motives behind it, right, that's the thing. How do we get to that point? How come now society is less grown-up males? It feels there are more boys nowadays. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's a declining maturity, or a diminishing amount of maturity. And I was posting on somebody's Facebook comment, put comments on his post this evening about how there's a need, a call now more than ever for men to mature, to step into a masculine, step out of the boyish, macho bullshit that we've been playing for so many years. Because nobody was checking it. Nobody was checking us. Nobody was putting us on track. We as men, I'm speaking generally speaking about men, didn't have any checks and balances. We make mistakes and we get away with it, or we would say things thinking it would be okay, and it wasn't okay. And so there's a need for us to be mature now. Absolutely, I agree with you totally. It's time for men to grow up. And that's why my title is the way it is. It's like we need to have more of this conversation for more men. In fact, some of my friends, clients, and people out there have been referring men to me to work with. Who checks and balances the guys, right? It's like there isn't anybody doing that, and it seems like there needs to be something like that. Whether we self-do it, I mean, I'm getting better at doing it myself, because I've done a lot of studying with some great teachers that have put me on point, and I do my best to remember, because it's in me that I have respect and appreciation for women, that it's challenging in a way sometimes to get out of that, you know? It's so sad to see 45, 50 and up men being immature, really immature. Why? What are we doing wrong? It's not what you're doing wrong. You aren't doing anything wrong, okay, Iris? So I guess, actually, Iris, I guess you can hear me. Wuggy, who's Wuggy? As far as you are. T. Johnson. Okay, T, good to see you. I think you're Imperial Dudes. Am I right? Not sure. So Iris, I guess you can hear me because you're asking questions that interact, so great, I'm glad you finally got through. No, actually, not your fault. Okay, so Iris, and your partner is 48 and is emotionally mature, that's not good. Iris, but to answer your question, there's definitely a piece of the puzzle here, because you said about raising, you as women raising boys. This is the challenge. On some level, though, women get to take a bit of responsibility. Yes, and there's been okay, this is a piece that comes through, right? We're accepting things we shouldn't accept. Well, that's true. But at the same time, there are a lot of boys being raised by single mothers, where the men have become detached, they've walked away, they've become absentee fathers, absentee husbands, and the boys aren't learning strict masculine role models. And so what I would say, if this is going to all the single mothers out there, is find some good male role models that you can have your sons meet and connect with and learn from. There, I just solved the whole problem. That was easy. There's more to it than that, but that's kind of the thematic of this, is boys aren't learning to become men. Boys are getting bigger and going through the teenage angst and the growth into adulthood, but they're not maturing. And part is because the generation before them didn't, and it's this progressive thing where it feels like the maturity level of men has diminished over generations. Then what's the examples of their fathers? They are boys, not to insult. They are boys, not to insult any good men. Right, well, we're being generalized here. This is not something I'm saying is like everybody's doing it, but it's some, not all. And I wasn't where I planned to go, but that's where it's going. So if you have any other thoughts and questions, please put them in. I'm just throwing some stuff on the table and seeing what sticks, as it were. So this is a piece that I haven't, and I'm still chewing on it. I don't have an answer to it yet. So this one's a work in progress. I don't have a distilled answer to go, okay, here's the points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. Here's the answer, go live with it. This is something that is more in development. So thank you for watching and at least participating, because you're helping me with this too. There's a trend that we're seeing more of, yeah, and that's the thing I'm watching, and I love it. And actually, a large part of it, think of that, seeing more of. See, you say keywords and they trigger me, so thank you for that. We're being presented with a message on video, TV, etc., that is absolutely teaching the wrong message, leading the wrong way, and watching how people have become, men, are playing like, sorry, Iris, you're raising 2 boys, co-parenting with the dad is very mature, I fear. Yeah, so Iris, one thing you can do, again, as I mentioned it before, is perhaps find, it's not about you finding a new guy to date, but find men you respect and appreciate, whether it's in person or on computer, video, whatever, that your sons can watch and learn from, because it may help them mature independent of or added to what their father is doing. They'll have your assistance. That seems to be what's coming up as a message for me to say. I'm grateful I was raised in a family where my father was very much an adult and a masculine man. Not necessarily the modern masculine, more the old school macho masculine blend, which I talked about before. One of his sons as a mentor, good. Yeah, that's going to be helpful, because that'll help him learn the ways of mature masculinity, which is something he would learn as he gets older, especially in his teenage years, because we aren't raised with this normally. And so having a model like I was grateful my father was more of that old school, that imprinted on me in a way that was good. There were some things that didn't imprint well, I should say things that imprinted on me that weren't good, but there were things that did. So it is that sensitivity, that sense that there needs to be more role models out there for men in general that are mature, wise, masculine role models, not necessarily old, but just mature. That's why I'm saying the entitled say about mature. It's time to mature, and so many men have not learnt from good role models, and so the way they treat women, the way they treat each other, the way they treat themselves, the way they treat the world, is very immature, and all those areas need to change. I should say, all those areas need supported. Dr. G, good to see you, my brother. Nice to have you in the house. So that's the thing I'm looking at, and Dr. G is a good role model, by the way, is having role models for the men that are coming up. Some don't know how because they never learn themselves. Well, that's the thing. So they need role models too. And this is the thing, it's becoming a generational problem, or generational diminishment of masculine maturity. So Dr. Sonia, she's a guru on women after divorce. Nice to know. Okay. I love the doctors in here. I'm the love doctor, but these are real doctors. Well, I presume doctorates versus that. So yeah, nice to see you. Thank you. Nice to have you here live. It was a late night scope. I didn't plan on doing one this late, but I didn't get around to it until like, oh crap, it's 10 o'clock. I need to do a scope. I haven't done one in 2 days, 3 days. So what's on the table is a clear. What's coming through is a message, because it took me a while to get to the point, because I was really not sure where I was going with it. Is that there are so many men who are acting like boys, who don't know how to be mature, and so I'm realizing more and more we need more role models for boys coming up, and for the men who don't know yet how to be a masculine, mature man, how they're still being boys inside, even though they've got physical adult bodies. So that seems to be what's coming up as the message tonight. That's the bottom line. So yeah, well, I know you and I are on the same page on so many things. I mean, you have more of a traditional Christian value than I do, because I come from a Jewish background, spiritual principle, but otherwise we're right on the same page. So I love the fact you speak that way and you have the passion for that. But yeah, we do have the same, a lot of parallels, which I like a lot. I'm grateful I'm not alone about this amongst the men, because the women are loving this, which I'm fine with, of course. But some of the men out there are in the world, not talking about Periscope, have no clue about this. They don't own it, don't live it, don't speak it, don't have a clue about it. Thank you, Dr. G. I appreciate that. That touches me. Thank you. It's interesting because last Monday I talked about legacy in the Man Up Monday theme, because it was after the memorial service for Maurice White, because it was the whole thing about Earth, Wind and Fire, about how much they created and done, and so much power that they put in the world, and their legacy was so important. So you don't want your kids until I become the best example beforehand, successful and strong. That's a wise choice, sir. And that is something more men could take on earlier, so they can still be at a good age, to help women have amazing kids. We women can't deal with boys. I'm more concerned about my boys to become men. So again, as I said, Iris, getting them to see men out there that they can use as good role models. If you don't have any in your life, find some for them. You know, it doesn't have to be a mentor necessarily. It could be. It could even be big brother type men. You can do that as well. There's a fine line between the boys being macho and the mature man being the masculinity. Actually, it's not that fine a line, to be really honest. I've talked about this before, and I'll give you just the thumbnail right now. Boy, if Dr. G's praying for you, you are taken care of. I love it. To answer that question before about the difference between macho and masculine, the way I define the two for your reference of what I use is macho is basically ego and balls driven. My way, the highway, I'm in charge and it's getting done. Screw everybody else. That's really the extreme example of macho. Masculine man, male, is a strong spine because of driven by a purpose and a vision, with an open heart because of compassion and care for the world. And a masculine man is about legacy first, or actually purpose first, because one of my teachers is David Data, and in his book, Way of Superior Man, and in his live events I learned this as well, is that a man's purpose comes before his relationship. And if we do it the other way around, I've proven it 3 times at least, it doesn't work. So it's important. Yeah, no, I understand, Irish, yeah, tell Dr. G, that's something, I mean, I've already shared, and I know he will share too with that, with your boys. So it isn't that subtle a difference, it's actually kind of obvious, and ladies, if you tune in, you can see it so clearly. Macho, ego-driven, or purpose, service-driven. It's a very clear divide, and you can tell quickly when you look for it. There are men out there who live in their vision and purpose. I think I'm in that group, and also men who think about themselves first and nobody else. And even such people as Trump. How can a narcissist come across as macho? Purpose, service driven, right? Can a narcissist come across as macho? Interesting question. A narcissist comes across as being everything you ever wanted, because that's a narcissist's job, to court you and pull you in so they can suck you dry like a vampire. So it's only macho after they got you. Beforehand, it's all about you, because they want to make sure you're so swept off your feet, you have absolutely no clue you're being sucked into a very negative situation. So I would say that most, in fact all narcissists are macho, but they don't show it until they've got you in, because then it's like they take charge, they run stuff, and they want to run over you, because you're their source of food. Energetically, they will suck you dry. It's like energy vampires. And I didn't know. Yes, they are people. They are people. However, they don't act with respect, dignity, and honor. And it's true. And men and women, there are men and women who are narcissists, not just one gender. So, the fine line. What do you mean, Iris? Fine line. People of patience. Okay, I think I may have missed something. There's a couple of threads going on. I may have missed something. So maybe one of you can qualify. Iris was saying one thing, and Don was saying something else, I think. So I may have lost track on those ones. So my apologies if I didn't catch the statements in there. So we moved along a bit. Okay. So yeah. So the first is respect. The first is respect. Leave them right. Okay. There's a punctuation missing. That doesn't help me with that. Sorry. Can you clarify that one, Iris? Let's get back on track for the moment. Oh, you understood that one. Fine. Hey, Vern, nice to have you here in my scope. We're talking about the maturity level and getting men into the masculine out of the macho, which is more the boy-like, immature and selfish, put it that way. I think I got everything on. I'm just reviewing what was scanned and talked about, so I think I've got everything up to date. I think that's it. I don't have any. This wasn't meant. This didn't come out or planned to be like I've got a bombshell drop on you, like this big lesson. It's more about this thing's really bug me. I want to share about it. Oh, the first sign of disrespect. Yeah, the thing is that, and this is the thing. Thank you for that, Dr. G, for clarifying. Switching gears slightly back to the narcissist point. When a man is disrespectful first time, a sign of maturity, walk away. I would say it depends. If it's after you've been together for a while, maybe not. If you show him what he's doing, you let him know he's off track, you give him some guidance to get back on track, because he may have had a slip. Most men, if they really are invested with you, will want to clean up their act if they messed up. And I'm not saying we all have lapses, but some men are on track and they don't get the fully, and they have a lapse into some aberrant behavior, cheating or doing something stupid or whatever that is disrespectful to you, or they say something out of alignment that came out of a base level. Right, there you go. Perfect, Donna. Look at his response after you let him know he slipped. Give him the chance to step up. If he doesn't step up, that's a different story. If it's habitual, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back. Right, yeah, that's pretty much clears it up. But if it's a one-time thing, first-time thing, what if he apologizes and does it again and the cycle continues? Then he's not apologizing. He's making shit up. He's bullshitting you. Yeah, he's an abuser. If it's repeat cycles, either he's got a deficiency or he's got a bad habit. Either one is not helping you. So, no, that's not a good thing. Once a mistake, twice a habit. I would say, well, maybe 2 or 3 times a habit. Yeah, you're right, Donna. Yes, Dr. G, same accord. To reflect back to your own statement. You tried 16 years of behavior, never changed, so now when I'm ready to date, I won't tolerate. Good. And one piece of advice, Iris, because I'm sort of reading between the lines. Making that choice is great, but your programming may still pull you into a relationship with a similar flavor if you don't do the other work to heal the past. First offense out. Bye-bye. Okay, I understand that. But you might be saying bye-bye a lot, and you may not notice until it's too late that you've got one of those again. So really do the work to really get clear out the blocks so you don't have that automatic programming drop in place, because you've had experience with that one. And the good news is, with that experience, you have clarity now. Kids need more role models, whether it's visual or in person. Any help is good. Yeah, exactly. That's what we said earlier. Yeah, it's true. To have absolute choices of models you can show these boys, whether out in the world, in their lives or on television, whatever, that you can see are demonstrating a proper level of maturity and masculinity, is the best thing you can do for their understanding what it's like to be a true, authentic man. Because a lot of the kids, and unfortunately a lot of the boys being raised in the last generation too, had fathers who weren't doing that, so they learnt a bad habit from the get-go. You're hanging there way too long, stand by man, even though it's disrespectful. Stop it. There's the solution. That was, as Bob Newhart would say, that's his 5-minute therapy. Stop it. Don't do that. If you know you're doing it, we've got kids, it's one thing. Boys don't want to grow up. Boys can't waste too much time teaching grown men. It's not your job. I'm part of the Perry Dudes group, and part of that is because we want to have a level of teaching and sharing in the group and in the world to wake up the men. Because in some ways that work is not on your shoulders, Iris, it's on our shoulders to wake up the rest of the men. Yeah, I just said Bob Newhart. Yes, I did. There's a video on YouTube, you can probably find it, about the 5-minute therapy. It's so funny. It's not your job, right, Iris? So it's such a key piece. If you make it your job, okay, let me say this to you, Iris, and to any woman watching this. If you think it's your job to mature your man, you're self-defeating right away, because if you do that, you're then his teacher, not his partner, and you lose out. So find him a mentor, a man who's in his maturity and his wisdom, who can help him. It's a much healthier way to do it, so you don't have to give up your role of being the partner. You may want to give up the role because it may not be what you want. Exactly, you enter in the role of mother then. Thank you, Don, exactly. And so many men are still boys looking for their mothers. So that's a fit, unfortunately. So, I think that sums it up. Well, it's coming out from, I'm just bouncing back, so thank you, Dr. G. Your ex-farmer and teacher, so sad. Yeah, well, I'm glad you get it, Iris. It's definitely important for you. So, you're welcome. And thank you for being here, by the way. I'm appreciating the fact this scope has gone deeper. The role models young guys are introduced to most on TV suck. Yeah, it's true. You gotta look carefully. There are so many bad models out there, but there are also good ones out there. But you got to sort of hunt through the weeds to get them, as it were. So. So any other? Sorry, I'm just going. I'm feeling kind of blank, as in not anything else coming through. So please throw anything else on the table that you think of, because I might sure do. Well, yeah, that's a definite one. Hurt people. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those unfortunate alliterations, because it's such a sad thing that we do that. Because the thing is, we give what we get, and we also give from the place that is who we are at the time. So if we're wounded, we'll wound. We'll share that wound. If we don't have the ability to observe ourselves, and that's one of the biggest lessons a truly authentic man knows, how to observe himself and the world. Whereas an immature boy doesn't have a clue what he's up to and clue about the world. He's just blundering through. Again, another key piece to tell the difference. So, Jujubee, interesting name. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. We've had a pretty good conversation about the difference between macho and masculine, about boys and men, and about the masculine maturity that is required more than ever in the world, and how to help boys get it. So, thank you for sharing that. Thanks to have you here. Donna, is she one of your fellow Perigos, I'm guessing? I think she is. Are you, Jazzy? I suspect you might be one of those. Wow, I love this. You all know each other. This is great. Thank you for joining my scope then. I'm glad. Donna and Dr. G know me. They've been watching my scope, so they can vouch for me, I hope. So nice to have you here, Jazzy. Thanks for being here. We've been having this conversation. It's been going good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that for following me. I love it. Yeah, you guys, I love this. That's one reason I like the fact we have the Perry dudes growing now, because the Perry girls, which is I guess a lot of you ladies are in, have become like sisters, and we support each other, which I really like a lot. So, and Nate, one of the Perry dudes, nice to have you, brother. Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. G. I appreciate being vouched for. I was being kind of facetious. I kind of know you did, because you said that earlier. So, Nate, nice to have you here, sir. Thank you. Another one of the Perry dudes. So it's becoming a Perry dudes, Perry girls meetup in this scope, which is fine. All right. We've covered quite a bit. I'm not sure if there's anything else to talk about. I know you're coming in late, and we did cover quite a bit. So, bottom line for those just coming in, to recap for the viewers coming in late, you approved this message. Thank you, Donna. This scope started slow, built momentum, coming around the home stretch, it's getting good. But talking about boys maturing into men. Jazzy, you knew, hang on, that's Donna's job. She does that. She puts up my links. How did you do that? I love it. Thank you. I talk about, by the way, I do talk about macho versus masculine in my book, as well as codependence, which is in here too. I don't talk about narcissists, because that came after the book. I'm going to do a second book which has that in it. So this is my book, by the way, for those who haven't seen it before, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It's on Amazon. Jazzy is on the ball, Donna. She beat you to it. That was great. Oh, thank you for going live. Yeah, there you go. Donna did it again. Donna, you must have these pre-built things now for me, which is I appreciate a lot. Can your maturity be connected to cheating addiction as well? Yes. Cheating is usually an immature action. It is an immature action, as is addiction and drugs too. Those are from a much more younger place. The mature, again, as I mentioned before, between macho and masculine, a masculine man is driven by legacy and purpose. That is more important and won't be risked by stupid behavior. And I meant to talk about stupid behavior because it suffers. So even addictions, yes. Addictions are, now, caveats. Sorry, let me put a caveat in the middle of that one. A lot of addictions are hereditary by behavior learning. It's not necessarily in the DNA, it's in the brain. So there's too much macho, which often screws up the perception of what real men are. Right. Cheating is abuse. Emotional abuse, it can be. See, the thing is, there's some other questions about this, because sometimes the relationships have gone so far down the road of lack of loving that some people have chosen to cheat as a way of filling up their heart without leaving the relationship in a very bizarre way, and it's not healthy. But that's from a place of longing versus a place of immaturity. So, not that it makes a difference; it's still not healthy. I mean, I've spoken on stage in front of audience about the team monogamy versus polyamory, because I know friends of mine who are into polyamory, which is cheating is an issue then because they sleep with different people. My point about that is, you can go, what I said, and he came through me and I asked the question, I said, what's the difference between polyamory and monogamy? I said, well, in terms of the values, I said, well, you can go wide or you can go deep. And they were like, what does that mean? And I was like, I don't know, let me ask. And I had to go inside and ask him. What I got clearly was, in monogamy, you can go very deep with one person. With many people, if you're polyamorous, which I don't promote, I have friends of mine doing that, so I respect them, but it's not my choice. It's not what I teach. Polyamory, you can love lots of people to a thin layer, but with monogamy, you can love one person deeply. And that's really why I think that the power of monogamy is, because a lot of people are afraid to go deep. And I suspect now people who are polyamorous may not like me saying this, and some of my friends will kill me for this. I believe a lot of people, polyamory is an escape from intimacy in terms of deep connection. Deep does bring up stuff, exactly. That was my scope last Tuesday. I talked about when the walls come down, stuff comes up. So yes, you can watch my previous scope on Catch about that. I have, by the way, all my scopes are on catch.me. Escape from what? Escape from depth. Escape from intimacy. Deep requires transparency. Yes, and authenticity, absolutely. Yeah, it does. Very much so. There was a thought that just went zoom, straight through. It's gone. It'll come back, maybe. So, you're welcome. I mean, Iris, you guys are bringing up the topics. I'm just bouncing around with them. I don't have an agenda, which is actually kind of a nice way of doing it, but I was getting kind of nervous at the beginning because I had nothing going on and nobody was in. So thanks for coming into the scope now. I think that's it. They covered a lot, I know. And for those coming in late, there's a lot more stuff before this that was on the scope you might want to watch and scan through and watch. It was actually pretty good. This is, by the way, this is not my normal hour for my scopes. Usually I'm doing about 3-4 hours earlier than this, or even earlier than that, lunchtime, Pacific time. But today was a weird day, and tomorrow might be as well. So I may be doing a scope tomorrow, late afternoon, Pacific time. So probably 4 or 5 hours earlier than this. So for those of you staying in the scope now at this time of night, thank you. Thank you. Glad you stayed up tonight. Should be in bed. Good night. Thank you, Iris, for being here. I appreciate it. It's escape from true connection, vulnerability, and sometimes damage. You're right. You're going live next, G? Okay. Good night, Iris. Thanks for watching the scope. Thanks for being here. Glad you kept trying to get in so you could actually talk, because not hearing what was going on would have been way boring for you. All right. So Dr. G is going up next, I think. Yes, Irish may not be going to bed just yet. Dr. G is going on. It's a 1-2 punch, as it were. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Good night to you, sir. Good night, ladies and gents who are signing off. I will sign off now to make room for Dr. G. I think the scope is pretty much complete. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And that's it. Today was Man Up Monday. Tomorrow is True Love Tuesday. And I'm going to see what shows up for that. I'm being more fluid this week. I don't have strict topics lined up yet. But thanks for watching that. Make sure, yes, Iris, there you go. Follow Dr. G, because he has great content too. He's another one of these, deep, conscious men talking about love and relationship from a very healthy perspective. So, good man to follow. You're welcome, Iris. Thanks for being in my scope. I think that's it. Any more questions and thoughts before I sign off so we can get Dr. G his space on stage? You're very welcome. Happy Girl. Happy Girl is Valeska. Thanks for being here. And yeah, this content. And again, by the way, all my previous scopes are on Catch. So if you want to check out what happened last week, some good stuff from last week, I sent 4 of them to my email list. They were so good. Catch.me/barryselby. All right, there you go. Dr. G is Dr. G Hightail. If you're following me, follow me. If you don't save his handle, I don't know if he's still in here. Follow me so that when I go watch him, you can see, and I'll put it out. You'll be able to follow him through me. Does that make sense? Follow me to follow him. I think it makes sense. Okay, no problem. Thanks, Lisa. Lisa, is that Lisa? Just seeing what your Lisa. Yes, Lisa Art Studio. Nice. Got it. All right. So I'm going to sign off. Unless there's anything else, so that Dr. G can take his space up. After I share. What do you mean after I share? Oh, after I share out the link, you'll see it. Yes. If you're following me and you don't have Dr. G in your, you're not following him already. If you follow me, when he goes live, I'll be following. I'll be watching him, and then I'll start sharing him out to you guys. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. It's late. It's after 10, and my brain starts to shut down after that sort of time. So I guess I didn't make it very clear. All right. Any other thoughts, questions? Thank you. I've actually got a lot of women who love my voice. They say they want to pay me for my voice, and they put my book in audio format so they can hear my voice, which is nice. Thank you. I appreciate it, Lisa. It's something that I'm grateful I have. It's not something I tried to do. Just who I am. So, hey, Carrie, nice coming in. I'm finishing up. This was quite a rich conversation. You wish you had my voice. Well, you can't have it. It's mine. So there. I'm signing off now, so I can go watch Dr. G and bring you with me. So if you're not already following me, make sure you do. And if you just joined the scope, go back and watch the beginning. There's a lot more content. The first 2 or 3 minutes was slow, but it picks up after that, just so you know. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to go bye-bye, definitely, so Dr. G can get on. See you guys later, okay? Take care of yourselves. Good night. Oh, please call this guy who's being very immature. Which guy? I'm not sure what you're saying, Carrie. Sorry. I didn't catch it. Won't keep calling the guy who won't keep calling you, or keeps calling you. I'm not sure now. Phone call with Vern twice. Well, turn call waiting off. You can turn your phone to set so you don't take other calls. I'm signing off though. Sorry, I got to sign off because I need to go follow Dr. G because he's about to go live and I'm holding him up. I'll see you folks later. I'm signing off. I'm back on again tomorrow. Make sure you're following me. Okay, I understand. All right, talk to you later. Take care. Bye.